Good morning, Tom and Anthony. Today is Friday, September 8th. Football is back. What's going on, boys?
Good morning.
Good morning. Up late last night. Big game.
Yep,
Came down to the wire.
officially 0-1 in my NFL 2023 bets. Wouldn't want to start it any other way. So here we go. Another great NFL season. What's going on, Anth?
Not much, man. Kids are back to school. You can tell that because they bring home all the sickness, and the sniffles. Yeah, fun times at La Pera residence.
I hope you're feeling okay. Tommy boy, how are
What's
you?
happening? How are you guys?
Just getting ready for an exciting Friday here in the mortgage world. Of course, I got my Saturdays are for the pre-approvals to get ready for this weekend. Of course, we know agents, if you need a pre-approval over the weekend, you can count on us. We're no 9 to 5 loan officer that you see out there. I don't know why you would work with one of them because most business is done in the evenings or weekends. So that's why you need one of us. So give us a call over the weekend if you need a pre-approval. But getting into things here, we're going to talk a little NFL. Of course, I don't think the Chiefs are it this year. I'm going to do instant reaction. Chiefs are dead. They won't win another Super Bowl. Detroit Lions might make the playoffs this year. There you go. There's my NFL recap and reaction. My dark horse bet of the year right here, responsibly, of course. George Pickens, offensive player of the year. I think he's plus 13,000 odds. So there you go. There's my pick. If it hits, you're welcome. Gamble responsibly, people.
I like it.
You guys got any picks for us out there? Any NFL news? What you got going on? Are we excited? Are we not excited?
We're fired up for this year. I got Steelers Super Bowl winner on the slate.
Okay. Anth, how about you?
I mean, I got to always root for the home team, man. So, I mean, I'm going Steelers all the way.
Okay.
I don't root for anybody else.
I do like a new coach, maybe.
Steelers division. I like Steelers win the division. That's a good, solid bet.
We're back to the AFC North. Everyone's good, I guess. So that will be tough. That'll be tough.
Yep. It's going to be a dogfight. I think we might lose a couple in the division, but I think ultimately 11-6 is going to win it.
I don't know records anymore now that they're throwing more games at us. So 11-6 sounds right. I don't know if that is correct, but sure. Okay. But guys, we'll get into it today. What we're going to talk about, PMI, mortgage insurance, private mortgage insurance. It's all the same thing. It just depends what type of loan you have. It is the fifth most important part of the mortgage payment, I guess, though it's the part that not everyone understands. Not everyone fully grasps what mortgage insurance is, why it's there, when it goes away, when you can have it, when you can't have it. So with everyone discussing mortgage payments these days, how can we make our payment lower? What can we do? Well, we have options out there. There are always options, guys. Options are good. When you get options from a loan officer, that's saying, hey, you can decide here. You can go either A or B or maybe C. You don't have to go either route. We're just giving you options. We see a lot of competitors don't give any options. And then when we give options, it's like, whoa, what the heck is this? I've never heard of this before. And it's just because there's some unique things you can do that aren't, every day or on every loan, but can help buyers if you have a certain situation. So first things first, mortgage insurance, Anthony, has to be paid on every loan other than conventional loans that have 20% down, or if you're a VA loan. Other than that, you're going to have mortgage insurance, a type of mortgage insurance. So monthly, that is. So talk about that a little bit, Anth. Let's go into these government loans, FHA, USDA. Give us your breakdown.
Yeah. So, if it's anything government, automatically, except for VA, they're going to have PMI, for the full boat of the loan, unless they do, say, 10% or more on FHA. Then it'll fall off at 132 months or 11 years. VA doesn't have PMI, but then conventional, one of the myths out there is you have to put 20% down to get rid of PMI, and you do not. You can actually buy that out up front with a minimum down payment for a fraction of the cost of what you're paying over that time. So put things in perspective. So if somebody has a $75 a month, PMI payment that's built into their, monthly payment based on down payment, credit score, etc., they're paying that for roughly 9 years, depending on down payment. It might be less, it might be a little bit more, but it depends on their down payment. They can actually end up paying about $8,100 over 9 years if it's $75 a month. If they bought that out up front, it's a fraction of the cost. So let's say $150,000 purchase might cost them $2,800 depending on credit score and down payment to buy that out completely. So now not only are they saving $75 a month, they're saving that difference excuse me, from what they would be paying over that term. So, that's $5,300 that they'd be saving over 9 years.
Yeah. So exactly what Anthony is saying. First off, we got to break it up into two categories. The government loans do have mortgage insurance for the life of the loan, but we also hear people talk out of both sides of their mouth, right? Rates are going to drop, so people are going to refinance. But then I don't want a government loan because I don't want mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. News flash for everyone. If you refinance, that mortgage goes away and you can drop that mortgage insurance if you refinance out of that loan. So don't tell me I don't want to go FHA, but then I'm going to refinance in 3 years when the rates drop. Because to me, that's stupidity, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're literally talking about something that's never going to exist. You're not going to have this loan for 30 years, so you won't have the mortgage insurance. So that's the one thing with government loans. Yes, it's there for the life of the loan on USDA and FHA. But more than likely in this current market, God willing, maybe we vote in a Republican president so rates can come down. God willing, in the next 5 years, you will have a chance to refinance if you buy now. If Joe Biden stays president, I vote rates will go to 10 because he doesn't know what he's doing. So you won't have a chance to refinance. But maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get someone in there that knows what they're doing and we can help our economy. I'm not an economist, who knows? But little tangent there. But so you have to know that if you refinance, it's a good thing and you can get out of that instantly. So don't look at that as a negative on the government loans. Secondly, on the conventional side, what Anthony brought up, and Tom, you can add to this, a little known fact. Everyone says in this business, if you don't put 20% down on a conventional loan, you have to have mortgage insurance. And yes, that is true unless you, the buyer, decide to add closing costs at closing to buy out your mortgage insurance. So you'll never have it, and you'll pay a one-time fee at closing. And you would say, well, why the heck would I do that? The reason you do that is just like Anthony said, over the life of the loan, it's going to be way cheaper to buy that out one time at closing than to pay it for 9, 10, 11 years. So frankly, that is the reason why you would buy out mortgage insurance on a conventional. Tom, fill us in on what you got there.
No, I think those are all great points. One other thing I did want to bring up on these government loans is there is something called upfront mortgage insurance on these as well that is added into your closing costs. So each loan that you're going to get, the VA, USDA, or FHA, has a different upfront mortgage insurance as well, which is a percentage of the loan amount. So the FHA being 1.75, the USDA being 1, and the VA, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, boys, is 2.35. It was just updated. But they all have the upfront mortgage insurance on there. And that is something that's added into the closing cost or the loan amount. It looks like it's part of the closing cost, but it actually makes your loan amount higher than just you're going to put your down payment of 3.5 or 5. Instead, your loan amount's going to look a little bit higher than that because all of that upfront mortgage insurance is added back to the loan.
I was just trying to get into the high grass this morning. Tommy just jumped us into the knee-high weeds in mortgage insurance. But yes, absolutely. He's correct. The government loans can be a little bit confusing. You have technically two different mortgage insurances. You have an upfront one that's one time at closing that's put into the loan amount, though. You don't have to pay that out of pocket. And then the second one that we're talking that buyers see as their monthly payment is the monthly mortgage insurance. And so Tom is correct. The government loans do have that up front, but with 80% of business still being conventional buyers right now because agents are still lackluster on taking those government offers, which I wish we would get off of that. Because it's 80% conventional, that's why we want to discuss mostly buying out the mortgage insurance if you have less than 20% down, or what's really smart to do in some cases, don't put 20% down. Lower your down payment. Let us buy out the mortgage insurance and buy down your interest rate, right? As a buyer, you have a lot of options of what you can do if you have funds to close. It's not always put more down is the best thing to do. It might be more beneficial to buy things out or lower your interest rate to make your payment different. I know Anthony does this all the time, and it can confuse buyers because it's not quote unquote normal thinking. Like, what? You're going to lower my down payment, but it's going to be beneficial to me? And yes, because we're using the funds you are going to put down to benefit you in different ways by chopping off mortgage insurance totally, by lowering your interest rate by a good amount there to affect your mortgage payment can really help. So that's why you need to call us. You need to talk to us. We need to go over different options of what makes most sense. Just saying, oh, rates are high, done, see you later, right? No, that's not what we do. That's not what we do. We have ways to help in this market to get buyers in the homes that benefit them the most. So if you're an agent, if you're not used to these different things, again, give us a call. We can go over them. But Ant, finish us up because I know you've been pushing this over a year to buy down the rate and buy out the mortgage insurance in lieu of putting 20% down, and you see it constantly be better for the buyer.
Yeah. I mean, in most cases it is, because the old adage, from, grandparents buying a home, most people today think that you need 20% down. And most people that are doing 20% down are only doing so they don't have to pay PMI. That's probably 95% of the reason somebody's putting 20% down. Nobody wants to get rid of $100,000 in liquid assets just because they want to. There's reasons for everything. But if you show somebody how they can save some of that money and be more liquid and accomplish better goals with that money, with a lower interest rate buy down and buying out the PMI, and they're saving the 10% that they were going to spend anyway, it's so much more beneficial, especially in this market. I mean, liquid assets are great to have, and saving somebody that money and showing them, hey, you have other options available to be able to make the home more affordable, pay less interest, and save some of those liquid assets. I mean, it's such key, when clients hear that, because most people think, hey, all I have is, I don't want to pay PMI, so I have to do 20% down. So when I promote that and just show the option, it's the buyer's choice, whatever's going to work best for them. But when you show that option, people are taken back. Like, what do you mean I can get rid of my PMI out of pocket, up front? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's a good idea, especially when you compare the cost difference. I mean, it's either you pay back $8,100 over, 7 to 9 years, or you pay $2,500 to get rid of it now, and you're saving $75 a month. right off the bat. So that makes the home more affordable. And that's what we're supposed to do, is show clients how to, afford the mortgage that they're paying for and give them financial advice as a mortgage advisor.
Absolutely. Amen. All right, boys. Great talk today. Happy Friday. We'll give everyone a highlight into Tuesday's show. Again, I saw something on the news. Of course, if it's on the news, it has to be real. People are paying about $800 more a year today than at the beginning of this president's presidency. Shocker. Inflation stinks. So what we got to talk about Tuesday, if you are a buyer, if you're an agent that knows somebody that's struggling, right? Because everyone talks about interest rates on the mortgage, but you have to look across the board. Credit cards, everything else is going up. An 8% rate, if you do a cash out refinance, is a lot better than 20% on a credit card. So we're going to go over, if you're a buyer, if you have a home, it may be a good option to do a cash out refinance to pull some equity out of that home and pay off these credit cards that are going between 20 and 30%. Every time the Fed raises their rates, we got credit card rates going up. I know Tom has been pushing this. So Tuesday, cash out refinance is on the ballot.
Have a good weekend, boys.
See you, fellas.
See you guys.